friends. We should forget about this place, but I don't wanna leave here if you're just gonna stay, changing like the season.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So before we get started into the video, let's all just address the elephant in the room. Oh, I chopped off my hair. Honestly, I felt like I wanted it this length, and now that I have it at this length and I'm looking at it, I wish it would have been just a little bit shorter, maybe like an inch more. I ended up cutting off about 2.5 inches of my hair. As you guys know, I was going on that curly hair journey and it came to an abrupt stop just because I didn't feel pretty with my curly hair, and I know a lot of you might come for me for that, but personally I just did not feel pretty with my curly hair. Sometimes I did and then sometimes I didn't, so I just decided that I am gonna still take care of my hair, do like a half curly journey, as in like most of the time wear my hair naturally curly, but when I want to go out and I want to do my hair, I'm gonna straighten it or I'm gonna add waves to it. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm still taking care of my hair, doing masks, using better products in my hair, using the least amount of heat as I can. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Anyways, you catch my drift. I'm not using heat as much as I used to use heat. So in order for me to get my hair back to what it was, I needed to cut my hair like drastically. I will insert a photo right here to show you guys what I mean. If you guys have been following me since the beginning of YouTube, I had like super long luscious hair. It honestly was the best that my hair has ever been in my entire life, and I have no idea what went wrong. I honestly was like in and out of testing out birth controls. I got headaches, I gained weight, I noticed that my hair was shedding a lot, so I ended up getting completely off of birth control, and I don't know if that had something to do with it, but I noticed that my hair, I was losing a lot of it, and I was losing it fast. And then I decided that I was going to Mexico last year, and I decided to add some layers into my hair. And with my hair, you can't really add too many layers because it is like super fine. Like I barely have any of it, and it's not because it's not healthy, it's just my hair is really fine. So when you add layers into it, it takes a lot of like the thick lookingness of it, even though it's not thick looking at all, but all this like fullness down here, it takes it all away and it thins it out and makes it look super stringy. So I ended up adding layers to my hair, and I also wanted to be lazy and I got the keratin treatment. And I used to get the keratin treatment a lot back in the day, and it used to thin out my hair. So I got a lighter version of the keratin treatment, and it's not that keratin isn't great. I mean, it's not great at all for your hair, but if your hair can withstand it and you have thick hair, then great, more power to you. But my hair was so freaking thin, and it's so fine, and it's so sensitive. Me dyeing my hair, I lose my hair. Me using too much straightener, curling wand, anything, I lose my hair. Me brushing my hair too much, I lose way too much of it, and it breaks easily. So when I did the keratin treatment, it was just a done deal. Like my hair was done. As you can see in that photo, I went from like super thick, luscious hair. I hadn't done the treatment then in like 3 years, and I went to basically losing all my hair. So anyways, that is the backstory of me cutting my hair. So let me know down below if you guys think I should cut it a little bit more. I am tempted to go back this week and honestly just bring it up just a little bit more, maybe like right here. I know that's not like much of a difference, but I just feel like right now it's not much of, I mean, I did cut off a good amount, but still, I just feel like I need a little bit more. I am digging the curly hair. It's a thing right now for me, so I'm just gonna milk it until I don't want it anymore, and then I'll just grow it out because hair is hair. So anyways, now that I am done with my little backstory on why I ended up cutting my hair, let's jump into what I'm gonna be doing today. So I wanted to do the look that I was telling you guys about the other day, maybe using beet with those colors. And then I received this freaking Colourpop box of their 2 foundations, 2 powders, lippies, and their new loose powders. Dude, Colourpop is killing the game right now. It is literally killing the game. So I think I'm just gonna do both of them. Like, why not? So this might be a long ass video, so if you are not here for a long ass video, then you got to go, because this shit is about to be long. So we're just gonna jump into the video. So if you guys are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Richelle. Please subscribe before you go. I would love you forever. Join my little family and follow me on all my social media. I am the most active on Instagram and Instagram. That's basically it. Because ever since Snapchat did that update, like hell no. I just use it for its snap for the filter, and then I just post it on Instagram. So I'm not really like on Snapchat or Twitter. But just follow me on Instagram, and that's basically it. So thank you so much for watching, and let's just jump into the video. Alright guys, so my eyebrows are done and my eyelids are primed. I did not set them today because I'm not going to make that mistake today. So I'm going to jump back into the Lunar Beauty palette because I promised you guys a more natural, more realistic tutorial with this. So that is what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to be jumping into the color Sickening, kind of just like a cool tone, muted out transitional color. So I'm going to be going in with my handy dandy Sigma E40, picking up a heavy amount, and we're going to begin to dust this all over our crease. I'm kind of excited to do this look today because I have not tested out the neutrals in this palette, so I'm eager to see how it's really going to work out. So I want to know if you guys like talk through videos, or if you guys like these videos that I've been putting up lately, more of like me talking to you guys. I just feel like it's easier to edit and put them up, which is why I've been doing them. And it's been faster for me to upload them because I haven't had to sit there and make time for voiceover. So that's why I've been really enjoying doing these instead. But if you guys like shorter, like talk voiceover videos, let me know because I can shut up and start doing that. Okay, so this color right here is freaking badass. I've really been enjoying not setting my primer. I just feel like all the colors go on so well. It's a very, if you're more light skinned, this is gonna be a very nice transitional color. But for me, this is a little bit too, I guess you could say, it's pretty, but it's a little bit too soft for its transition color. Or maybe I'm just used to like using colors lately. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, so now I think I want to pick up the shade Snatched. It is a really pretty burgundy kind of color, and I am going to use that in my crease just a little bit lower than Sickening. You know, I always like to tilt my head back and then drag it outwards. So I'm going to bring this about halfway into my crease, kind of stop there, but then continue to drag it outwards. And I want this to be pretty intense, so I'm going to pick up a heavy amount of this so that way it peeks through later once we go in with the deeper browns and the black. And you guys know I don't care about fallout. You guys might, but there is a good amount of fallout like on your face when you do use this palette. But again, I'm picking up a heavy amount and I'm not really dusting anything off, so that could be it as well. But I don't mind that because that's why I do my foundation last for eye looks like this, you know? So that's really pretty. So I'm going to take my Sigma E40 and go back into Sickening and kind of just re-intensify that above the red. Okay, going back into Snatched and just re-intensifying that color again. Okay, so I've been really living for this brush, and this is a Morphe M518. It's just a very stiff blending brush, so wherever you place the brush, it doesn't really like move too much. It kind of stays in place, which is why I've really been loving it. It's just, I don't know, especially with the colorful looks, I feel like it keeps everything exactly where I place it, and it doesn't go too high or too low. It just stays where I put it, and I love that. So we're going to go ahead and use Cake Face underneath the brow bone just to kind of clean up the brow bone because I do feel like I dragged these colors a little bit high. Cake Face isn't really ideal for this, but since I want to use a palette, I'm just going to go ahead and use it. Okay, and because that is such a light color, I'm going to go back in with whatever's left over on Sickening and just kind of go back in and just blend out those edges so it's not so white. And now I'm going to go into the color called Trade. With this, I'm going to use a Sigma E25. It's more of a flatter shading buffing brush. And I'm going to pick up a good amount of that because I really want to deepen up the outer corner with this color. So we're gonna do kind of a V shape. I'm gonna pack it onto the lid. Okay, so this color is not as deep as I thought it was. I was expecting this to be a lot deeper. Okay, do you guys see that? Like, it's really not doing that much. I was expecting that to be like super deep. Okay, I mean, it's doable, but I was just expecting a little bit more I guess you can say. But it is what it is, and we will work with what we got. So I'm just doing kind of a V shape and then dusting it in to the outer part of the crease. This isn't gonna be a really precise cut crease, but I do want it to be kind of a softer cut crease, if that makes any kind of sense. Okay, so whatever is left over on the brush from Snatched, I'm just gonna dust it away and then just kind of buff out those edges so that everything blends well together. You don't want to move too far up or too far in because you don't want to take away any intensity from that color trade. Now I'm going to go into the color, it's a black in the palette called Shady, and with that same Sigma E25, I'm going to pick up a good amount and do the exact same thing that we just did with Trade, just a little bit further out, and then bring it in to that really outer crease. But you want to work slowly with blacks so that shit doesn't go sideways really quickly. Again, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I thought that this black was gonna be a little bit more than what it is, but that's okay because black can be a little bit scary. So I'm gonna go back into that deep brown and kind of just re-deepen up around that black to kind of smoke out those edges so it's not so intense. I'm gonna turn it over and go back in with whatever's left over on that black. Okay, and then going back in with that brush that we had snatched on, just kind of buffing out those edges one more time to make sure we don't have any harsh lines and everything looks really smooth. I went ahead and I cleaned up the look and I'm actually really liking the way this is looking right now. It is so pretty and that color Snatched really brings the entire look together. I'm loving this and I already can see what it's gonna look like. I can envision it and I'm super excited for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into a little bit of concealer. We are not gonna cut that crease, but we're gonna kind of just lay down a base for everything to stick and really pop through. So my favorite way to do that is to take a little bit of Tarte shade concealer, and I like to use lighter shades so that the crease shade really pops through. So I'm gonna take the color Fair, which is like a super white shade for me, and I'm just gonna lightly put a little bit of concealer on the lid. So I'm not going to precisely cut the crease, I'm kind of just going to lay it down as if it is a base. Okay, so you can kind of see what I mean by kind of just like laying down a base color. So now I'm going to go into the color Beat, which is this gorgeous like kind of duochrome pink shadow in this palette. We are going to lay this all over our lid. So let's see how this goes. Oh my god, this is freaking gorgina. I kind of want to do the other color in the center, but let's put this down first and see what this ends up looking like. The moment that I put this in my inner corner, I just knew that this was about to be bomb. That is so pretty. So pretty. Okay, and to finish this eye look off, I'm going to go back into this Sigma E25, and whatever is left over, I'm kind of just going to re-dust it on top, just blending it into Beat, just to make everything kind of seep through and kind of blend in. Yes, so pretty, perfect. That was so easy. Seriously, so freaking easy. And then I'm going to go into this brush and just kind of buff out those edges to make sure everything is clean. That basically completes the eye look. I think I don't want to do a wing liner. I think I'm going to do a small line across, add some lashes, and I'll be right back to jump into the Colourpop portion of this video. Okay, so I am so obsessed with how this eye look turned out. It turned out so pretty. It's not even funny. So to jump into the other portion of our video of the Colourpop review, I'm going to use a primer that I've been using lately, like non-stop, which is the Time Bomb Primer. I was sent this by LALADAISY and it's about almost half off on their website. It is such a good primer. It just really smooths out all your pores or anything that you've got going on. So I really just like to place this on my cheeks and my forehead. Okay, so Colourpop came out with 42 foundation shades. This is their no filter foundation. This is equivalent to their no filter concealer. This is the sister to it, but in foundation form. So this comes with how many? 0.85 fluid ounces, whereas regular foundations come with 1 fluid ounce. So this is a little bit smaller, but I do like how this is obviously a lot cheaper and it comes with a pump. Most of the time they don't come with a pump and I freaking hate that. So I think it's pretty nice. So I picked up the 2 colors, medium dark 120 and medium dark 135. So far by looking at these, by just like staring at them, it seems like it's gonna be really light, which is weird because it's medium dark. So I'm gonna test these out on my skin to see what color I am. And if they are too light for me, then I guess I'm just gonna have to cream contour and kind of darken everything up. Ooh, so it's like pretty watery consistency. So I wonder how that's gonna go. So this is 120 medium dark. That seems a little light. I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like they're both a little too light, so I'm just gonna go in with the 135 and see how that ends up working for me, because I'm too scared to go in with the 120. And if the 135 is still too light, I'll just go in with the Anastasia Espresso foundation stick just to kind of deepen it up. But I'm gonna take about 3 pumps and see how well this covers my face. I've seen so many videos on this foundation and supposedly it's a great medium coverage foundation. I'm just gonna spritz my beauty blender a little bit to just dampen it. Back up a little bit. Actually, I think 135 might be a good match. Like, I feel like 120 might be like my winter shade. I mean, obviously I'm like really tan on my shoulders, but as far as my neck goes, I feel like that's actually a pretty good match. It's so hard to like find your shade online, especially when they don't really have pictures of it on women, you know what I mean? So I found it to be a little bit hard picking out a foundation shade, but I feel like it's always like that, even like on Sephora. It's like, unless you go in store, it's kind of like you always have to buy 2 of them to really figure out what you are. But it's cool when it's like a cheaper foundation because you're not spending too much, you know? Okay, so I did half of my face so I can show you guys the coverage. And I do feel like, I honestly feel like nothing is on my face. It feels super light. And I feel like it covered pretty well. It's not a full coverage foundation, but it's definitely a medium to buildable coverage. And I love how lightweight it is. It's so lightweight, I feel like I have nothing on my face right now. By the way, that was like 3 pumps on one side, so I do feel like a little bit, it doesn't really go a long way. I don't know. So I've squirted 3 pumps, so we will see how this goes, or maybe I kind of just over-exaggerated on how much I put on. Because I just dipped that in once and that kind of covered my entire cheek. So I might have just put on a little bit too much on this side. Dip it in one more time, but I still have some left over on my hand. Just for my forehead. Yeah, I feel like you definitely don't need 6 pumps for your entire face. I probably could have just done like 4 and been fine, but it is what it is. I want to see how much it covers though. Okay, so I do feel like that's really nice coverage. Like, it's super nice. Supposedly this is like a natural finish, kind of a matte finish, but right now I feel like I look pretty dewy. Like, you can see it right here on my cheekbones, but that also could be the light kind of reflecting off. And I'm still pretty sticky. Quickly just go in and cream contour just because that's what I normally do. I'm using the Anastasia Espresso. Stick Foundation. I'm just going to do this really quick and be right back to do the concealer. Okay, so I went ahead and I contoured my face using the Anastasia Stick Foundation. And now to see how the No Filter Colourpop Concealer sits with the Colourpop Foundation. So far with the contour, I feel like I am still looking pretty dewy and I am still pretty tacky. It hasn't really set down into like a matte kind of finish or anything like that, which I'm fine with because I go in with powder anyways. But so far I'm still liking the coverage and it looks really good. The foundation stick looks amazing on top. So let's go in with the concealer. I am in the shade Medium Dark 30. So I know that their concealers oxidize a little bit, so I wonder, I mean, not I wonder, because this foundation really hasn't oxidized and hasn't changed too much. So I wonder why the concealer's oxidized, but then like this doesn't. I'm like really impressed, guys, because I really like this foundation and I'm not just saying that for shits and giggles. Like, it looks really good right now. I just don't understand how Colourpop does it. I will never understand. Until I am physically in their lab one day, I will never understand how they come up with all the stuff that they do so fast and for such an affordable price and for such good quality. Like, I will never understand that. It is so freaking good. Wow, that looks so nice. It literally looks so good and my skin is so bad right now. So far, I am loving the way everything looks, so let's jump into the translucent powders to see how that really holds up. Because if that is anything like the foundation, then your girl just hit the freaking jackpot, because this is so nice. It's not even funny how nice this is. It's not even funny. Okay, so I picked up 2 of their loose powders, one in translucent and one in banana. So I saw Makeup Shayla talk about this. Even though I'm not a big fan of banana powders, I kind of just wanted to test it out. But I don't know if I'm going to test it out today. I don't know. I might mix both underneath my eyes. Actually, no, because I really like that Kim K powder. Okay, so I'm just going to go into what I know, and I'm going to go ahead and bake with this translucent powder. And then another day, we will try out that banana. So this comes in a pretty small tube. This is 8.3 ounces. I don't honestly know how much a typical translucent powder comes with, but this is a very small looking kind of tube. So it seems small, and it has one of those sifters, which I honestly kind of hate, but we shall manage. So I'm going to put a good amount in here so I can bake with this. This is like totally not sinking into any of my fine lines yet, and I haven't set it, so it's just mind-blowing to me how flawless all this looks. So I'm going to go ahead and just tap out underneath my eyes one more time before I go in and bake. So far, right off the bat, my first impressions is that I actually really like how lightweight that powder is. It seems like it's very finely milled, which I really truly enjoy. But we will see what happens when I dust this off. But before I dust it off, I also picked up 2 of their pressed face powder foundations. I picked up the shade Medium Dark, which is this one right here, which does not look medium dark at all. And then I picked up the shade Medium. I was scared that Medium Dark was going to be too dark and that Medium Light Medium might have been better. But once I got both of them in, they're honestly both really light. I feel like probably Medium Dark might be better. I feel like I could probably use Medium to kind of highlight underneath my eyes, truly. But for today, I'm going to go into Medium Dark. So I don't typically ever use a pressed powder like this. I honestly just picked this up for you guys to let you guys know what I thought about it. But typically I would just go in with the rest of translucent powder and just set my face. But for shits and giggles in today's video, we are going to use this. So I'm going to take a big brush. This is the Morphe E1. And I'm just going to swirl it in here and just press it into my face and see what happens. So hopefully this isn't too dark. So I'm also going to be pressing in that translucent as well as I go. So that looks really nice. It definitely like mattifies the entire face. So I'm going to go ahead and do it on this side as well. Maybe Medium Dark is good. I don't know, maybe I'm being too hard on them right now. You know how some translucent powders can be like so tight that underneath it makes it look a little bit wrinkly? That's not the case at all right now. This is actually a really nice setting powder. Like, dude, I kind of wanted to not like some of these products because I didn't want to seem like I'm like raving about them, but honestly, they're really good. Okay, so of course my camera overheated, but I went ahead and I finished off my face. So my thoughts on this translucent powder and these powders with the foundation and everything, so far so good. These powders set very well on top of the foundation. You could just tell that they're made for each other. I feel like right now I look very flawless and airbrushed, especially for my skin not being so good. I have a lot of texture going on my cheeks, and so far so good. I'm really enjoying it, so we will see how it lasts by the time I'm done with this video. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into my under eye and finish off this eye look so we can move on to lips, and I can tell you my thoughts and we can get out of here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the color Snatched, which is this color right here, and I'm gonna skip Sickening. We'll go back to that if I need it, but it's so light of a color that it's gonna blend into my skin, so I don't really need it. But I'm gonna go into the color Snatched and dust this all the way across my lower lash line. Okay, now I'm gonna go into the color Trade, which was that deep brown, and kind of just do the exact same thing on top of Snatched. And I'm gonna take a small definer brush, a flat definer, and just tightline underneath with a little bit of black. Just about halfway. So that basically completes the eye look. I'm gonna hit my lashes with some mascara, add some lips, doll myself up a little bit, and I will be back with my final thoughts on what I think about the Colourpop foundation and this eye look. Alright guys, so that concludes tonight's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me create this look right here. I honestly am really impressed with these colors, with the neutral colors. Midway through the tutorial, I was kind of like, oh shit, this is getting way too dramatic, way too smoky, but now that I am done, I truly love this look, and I feel like it is a really pretty, feminine, natural kind of look. Obviously not natural, but as far as like a casual night out or something like that, or an everyday kind of look, this is totally wearable and doable. If you wanted, you can even take away the black eyeshadow and then have the rest of the look, and it would still be so pretty, or even take away these lips and add a really soft neutral lip. So I'm honestly really impressed with the neutrals. I'm honestly really impressed with this entire palette. But I've done so many looks with that, so moving on to what really matters is this Colourpop foundation. Guys, all I have to say is just wow. Wow. For, I think, $12, a drugstore price, this foundation is phenomenal. Like, literally, it's amazing. Like I said, until I'm in Colourpop's lab one day, I don't know how they do it. I literally don't know how they do it, because they provide such high quality makeup for such an affordable price. This foundation is literally flawless. Like, I wish I could sleep in this right now and go out in this tomorrow, because it looks that good. It's literally so flawless, and my skin has a lot of texture right now, and especially under here, because I just got off my menstrual cycle and I've been really insecure about my skin. My little friend is still here too. I know you guys can't really tell on camera, but my skin is really bad, and I feel like this foundation has made it so airbrushed. And right now, my favorite foundation before this was the Dior Skin Forever, and that foundation is amazing. And I know this is really bad to say, but this runs a really tight race, or it might even surpass it. Granted, I've only had this foundation on for maybe like an hour and a half, but still, like, it literally is bomb.com. And then these powders, so far I've been really liking it. It feels so lightweight. Honestly, like, there's not much to say about this collection except it's amazing, and you have to try it to understand. You really have to try this foundation out for yourself to understand. Even this pressed powder, I am so impressed with. So overall, I do feel like the entire collection is 120% worth it. Like, so worth it. I believe I got all, I think these are like $9, and then the foundation, I believe I only spent $36 on these, so it's super affordable and super worth it. So that basically completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe before you go. Follow me on Instagram and all my social medias, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. So I'm gonna jump back into the Lunar Beauty.